Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the weekend roundup show where I take you through the weekend games and what happened over the course of the weekend. Like, share, subscribe, and do all that. And let's get to 2,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I have a question for everyone today. If you're watching, let me know the answer to this question. The Ballon d'Or or the Grammy Award, which one is more? How will I use which word should I use? I don't want to use rigged. I don't want to use bias, or I don't want to use dubious. Which one do you think winds people more? Which one do you think gets people really upset with their pick for winners? I'm talking about the African category where we have the Bonham Boy, Davido, Tyler, I think it was a Whiskey, the whole part of the African category. And at the end of the day, I think Tyler won the Grammy Award. A lot of 30 BG fans are not happy. But I just want to know from you guys, among these two awards, which one gets you more upset with the way they attempt to pick their winners? Let me know. I'll let you know my own thought at the end of this video. Stick through. And talking about the English Premier League, we saw Tottenham played at a 2-2 draw with Manchester City. Manchester City took a 2-0 lead in that game, and everyone watching that game was thinking the game is going to end like a 4-5, even 6-0 win for Manchester City because of how dull Tottenham were in that first half and how passive they were in that first half. And the coach made a very screwed change. I don't know if that was injury or was a personal change because they removed Romero in the second half and brought in Nassar. And that's saw a turnaround for Tottenham fortune in the game as they rally back to score two brilliant goals. I think we've seen the goal of the season, the second goal by Dominic Solanke, who scored a scorpion kick goal in the second half to earn Tottenham a point in that game. Some Tottenham fans were sharing with Manchester City score in that first half. I understand they are sharing because they do not want Arsenal to win the Premier League, and if Tottenham losing is going to help the cause for Manchester City to win the league, some Tottenham fans will rather want to lose that game. But talking about Manchester City, with the way Manchester City are playing, I was asking myself yesterday, is this team really serious about pursuing Arsenal to this year's title, or they don't have the cojones? Because last week I was questioning if Arsenal have the cojones to go on to win the Premier League. And looking at the chasing pack, Tottenham, Manchester City, and Aston Villa, I think I've been stressing myself too much because Manchester City have just won one game in their last 6 Premier League games, and for me, for a team that wants to win the Premier League, that form is really not good enough to win the Premier League. And Pep Guardiola will be fuming. Rodri fuming in the press conference, saying the first goal by Tottenham was a foul, which for me I think it was a really foul, because you can't kick through someone and score a goal. It was clear and obvious that Dominic Solanke actually kicked the leg of Gehi to get one goal back in that game. So for me, I think that goal should have been shocked off. But like the PGM world, the referee, like I always tell you guys, they are not competent, and seeing what they did in that goal, not disalign that goal, shows the kind of state we are being officiated with in the Premier League. And I don't know why Rodri wasn't sent off, because the referee actually had his hand to his pocket for the second yellow card, but I don't know, because he felt it was Rodri, he didn't give him the second yellow card. I think for me that was a poor call from the referee all day long. That's the second yellow card, and the red card probably would have given Tottenham the ability to win the match in the dying minute, because that second half was all over, was Tottenham all over Manchester City. And Manchester City at the moment, even the signing of Gay, really not done anything to their defense, because they are see porous as they are before they signed Gay. And Semenyo keeps doing Semenyo things, which is scoring goals and scoring a wonderful goal in that game to give them a 2-0 lead. But I'm looking too much. I don't know if I'm looking too much into Manchester City body language, because after the game, if you look at Erling Haaland, it was really, really upset. He was saying some words. I don't know if he's upset with his teammate, if he's upset with the officiating, or if he's upset that he's having less impact in games this season. And sorry, not this season, for the past few weeks now. Yeah, in the last 6 or 7 matches, he has been having a dip in form. And looking at how he's reacting, for me, I just feel it's not really good. It's not going to help the team. And Arsenal fans will not care about that. They will want it to continue that way. And I have to big up Tottenham for that second half performance they put out against Manchester City, because Tottenham have become a buggy team for Manchester City. And going 2-0 down and coming back to a 2-2 draw, for me is a good result, and one result that will keep Thomas Frank longer in the job. And the other chasing pack, Aston Villa, on the other hand, lost to Brentford. Brentford defeated them by 1 goal to nothing. Not forgetting that Kevin Shadow was sent off for violent conduct in that game, and in the first half, and they still went on to win that game. Brentford, after getting a goal. Aston Villa, for me, scored a legitimate goal, which I think shouldn't have been chalked off. That Tammy Abraham goal. You can't go back 19 seconds. I think, yeah, it was 19 or 14 seconds. Come on, that's far. That's too far behind. For me, that's too far, because although yes, the ball really went out, but play went on, and it wasn't even this in the same passage of play. So for me, I do not know why that goal was chalked off. And the PGM, well, I know Howard Webb will be coming out today with his Mike, Ref Mike, whatever show he does, to explain why that goal for Aston Villa was shocked off. But Arsenal fan will not care. They'll be happy this morning that Aston Villa have lost, and Manchester City have failed to beat Tottenham. And big up to Brentford, who lost a lot of key players, the likes of Norgard, the likes of Mboemo, the likes of Wisa, and even their coach Thomas Frank. And they are doing so well this season. And I must commend them for how impressive they have been this season. Thomas Frank, on the other hand, is not doing too well at Tottenham. So kudos to Brentford, and kudos to Keith Andrews, who has gotten 2 wins and a draw from his 3 meetings with Una Emery this season. And the other game that was played saw Arsenal defeated Leeds United by 4 goals to nothing. Arsenal were not impressive in that first half. The game was a little bit dull, 50-50, a lot of duels winning, a lot of second balls, and a lot of crossing. And Arsenal do what they know how to do best, which is set piece, ole ole again, getting their first go through. It's second passage of a set piece, a corner kick by Noni Madueke. Lovely cross for Zubi Mendy to score. His fifth goal for Arsenal. That's the most he has scored in his career, like in a season. 5 goals already. And Arsenal will be hoping and praying that the Bukayo Saka injury is not serious. But if you have players like Noni Madueke to come in for Bukayo Saka, who wasn't fit for that game, I think it's not really that bad as it used to be before. So Noni Madueke was instrumental in that game. That first half, a goal and an assist. I heard the second goal has been given to Noni Madueke. That's his first Premier League goal for Arsenal, taking him almost 365 days to score his first Premier League goal for the season. So that's that. And Victor Gilchrist was also on the score sheet to make it 3-0. Lovely pass by Martinelli, and Gabriel Jesus running it off with another beautiful goal to make it a 4-0. What I see from Arsenal this match really make me understand that Gabriel Jesus shouldn't be starting for Arsenal, because the Premier League is really, really physical. And the physical presence of Victor Gilchrist really helps Arsenal, especially in the away games. And I think Mikel Arteta should not make that mistake again, starting Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus is good coming out in the second half when the game is a bit open. I think he tends to do well in those games. So Arsenal winning that game by 4 goals to nothing. Another clean sheet for David Raya. That's his 12th for the season. A lovely numbers for him, as last season he got 13 to win the Golden Gloves. This season he already got 12 with 14 games to go. That being said, Arsenal will be taking on Chelsea in the Carabao Cup second leg semi-final tomorrow. So hopefully, with a win or a draw, they will make their position to the final. And Manchester City will be taking on Newcastle. I forgot to say that on Wednesday with a 2-0 lead in the first leg. So hopefully, let's see how that game is going to pan hard. Liverpool, on the other hand, defeated Newcastle by 4 goals to 1. Ekitike scoring 2 goals. Florian Wirtz also on the score sheet, and Konate, who is mourning the death of his father, was also on the score sheet. My thoughts and prayer to Konate, and it was really, really emotional for him. He was even crying when he scored that goal. The whole of the Liverpool players ran to him to celebrate with him. Hopefully, uh, things like this doesn't happen. We don't get to lose our parents very, very early. And kudos to Liverpool who find form against Newcastle. I thought this game was supposed to be a bogey match for Newcastle for Liverpool, but looking at the record of Newcastle and Liverpool, I think we underestimated how impressive Liverpool have been against Newcastle, and they won that game by 4 goals to 1. Chelsea, on the other hand, defeated West Ham United, who took a 2-goal lead in that game. Ended up losing that game by 3 goals to 2. That's Leon Rosenia winning again for this new club. That's I think 5 wins now for Chelsea. We just only one loss. That was against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, which is his first game. So Chelsea, on the other hand, will be taking on Arsenal, like I said, in the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg at the Emirates. So Chelsea, I think this coach is really. Do I say this is a new manager bounce, or do I say Liam Rosena is doing a good job? I can't really pin my hands on what to say, because if you watch that game, the first half where Chelsea were 2 goals down, you kind of wonder what's going on here. And I think the blessing for Chelsea, for me, was the will I say that was a blessing in disguise? It was a blessing in disguise to bring in Pedro Neto in after the injury to the Chelsea winger who started the game. So Leon Sena is really, really using his bench very, very well, and Kupama was instrumental in that game, and Fernandez scoring the late goal to give them all 3 points in that game. So Chelsea are finding form right now, and are finding it at the right time. The last match from on Sunday, so Nottingham Forest ended up in a 1-1 draw with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, who has sold their striker, not yet confirmed, but we've had a year will go already on Mateta to AC Milan, but it wasn't part of this game. They ended up that game in a 1-1 draw. Manchester United, on the other hand, had a 3-2 win over Fulham. Manchester United having 3 games from 3 win for Michael Carrick in his interim term at Manchester United, defeating Manchester City, defeating Arsenal, and also now defeating Fulham. Fulham, who thought they have had an equalizer in the 93rd minute in that game through Kelvin, saw them pegged back as Benjamin Sesko scored the all-important goal to give them all 3 points. It was a lovely game for the neutrals because it was entertaining. Goals were there, fight were there, yellow cards were there, everything you want to find in the world of football, we had it in that game. And with the way Michael Carrick is going, do you think it's right for Manchester United to make him the permanent manager? For me, I really do not care. I really do not know right now. But what Michael Carrick has to do is doing it very, very well. And with the way Manchester United are going, the Champions League qualifications is within their reach. And hopefully, and if they can get that, that can hit the possibility of Michael Carrick being given the job as the permanent manager of Manchester United. Brighton and Everton played at a 1-1 draw. Everton having a late equalizer through Beto, and Brighton will be kicking themselves in that game because they had every opportunity to score the second goal or even win. Mitoma scoring in that game, but the goal was disallowed for offside. So Brighton had every opportunity to win that game, but they ended up playing a 1-1 draw. A good point for Everton, a good point for the aspiration for qualification in the somewhere in the European football. Is it the Conference, Europa, any of them? It's still possible for Everton. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Resurgence has been bust. Their bubble has been bust because they lost at home to Bournemouth by 2 goals to nothing. Creepy, that boy called Creepy. is something. I really do love the way he tend to strike. For a young man like that to have such venom in his leg to strike a ball like that, I think is really, really impressive. And Krupe opening the scoring in that game as they went on to win that game comfortably by 2 goals to nothing. Bournemouth, who had a good start to the season, had a deep, but right now I think they are back to being in form. And let me take you through the league table. As it stands right now, Arsenal sits top of the league table with 53 points from 24 games. At the moment, just 14 games left in the Premier League. Manchester City, who drew 2-2 to Tottenham, sitting in 47 second position. Aston Villa 46 in 10. Manchester United now in the Champions League position with 41 points in fourth, while Chelsea are 40 points in fifth. Liverpool are just a point outside the Champions League qualification spot. In the relegation side, we see Wolverhampton Wanderers still on 8 points, 5 draws, 18 losses, and 1 win. That win coming against West Ham some weeks ago. Burnley, on the other hand, will be taking on Sunderland today in the Monday Night Football. City 19 in the league table, and we'll be hoping to cut the lead between them and West Ham short, because West Ham are sitting in 20 points in 18th position, just 6 points below Nottingham Forest, who sit 16 after their draw with Crystal Palace. That's all from the English Premier League. As like I said, the English Premier League is really, really eating up so well. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see how that's going to pan out. In the German Bundesliga, there's really nothing too much from the German Bundesliga, because Bayern Munich are doing everything possible to sabotage their own season, as they were defeated. They played a 2-2 draw with Hamburg after losing last week. Now they head to a draw, 2-2 draw by Hamburg away from home. That game really, really hurt a lot of punters, because they didn't expect what they saw. Dortmund, on the other hand, played at a 3-2 win over Eddingham, while Stuttgart defeated Freiburg by 1 goal to nothing. Augsburg defeated St. Pauli by 2 goals to 1. Bayer Leverkusen, on the other hand, defeated Eintracht Frankfurt by 3 goals to 1. Mainz and Leipzig were defeated at home to Mainz by 2 goals to 1. Hoffenheim defeated Union Berlin. Hoffenheim, who is having a very, very good season, they will be taking on Bayern Munich in the next game, defeated Union Berlin by 3 goals to 1. Werder Bremen and Borussia Mönchengladbach played at a 1-1 draw, and FC Cologne defeated Wolfsburg by 1 goal to nothing. So as it stands right now, with a two back-to-back winless run for Bayern Munich, see their lead in the top of the league reduced to 6 points as a City in 51 points, while Borussia Dortmund on 45 points, OFM on 42 points in third, while Stuttgart 39 points in fourth. In the relegation battle, we see Mainz with 18 points in 16th, while St. Pauli with 14 points in 17th. Erdem, on the other hand, are currently with the least point, 13 points, sitting in 18 in the league table. As it stands right now, Bayern Munich will be hoping and praying that everything goes as a plan for them and they return back to form as soon as possible, because if they do lose to OFM or end up not picking up any positive result from that game, it might be very, very detrimental to their season. And moving on to the Italian Serie A, where we saw Juventus defeating Parma by 4 goals to 1. Inter Milan and Cremonese played at a 2-0 win for Inter Milan. That game was interrupted after fireworks was thrown into the pitch, and I think the Italian FA has called for such things not to repeat itself again, because at the end of the day, these guys are human. They are footballers. Doesn't mean you throw fireworks into the pitch is detrimental to their health. I'm not even talking about the flames that comes. I'm talking about the smoke. It's really, really not hygienic for anyone. Como and Atlanta played at a goalless draw. Como, who had a chance to win that game, the 94th minute, saw Nico Pass missing a penalty in that game. Atlanta, with a man down, head on to a goalless draw. Torino played at a 1-0 win over Leeds, while Cagliari defeated Verona with a 10-man 4 goals to 1. Napoli, on the other hand, defeated Fiorentina by 2 goals to 1. Pisa were defeated at home by Sassuolo 3 goals to 1. Lazio, on the other hand, defeated Genoa by 3-2. And the league table stands right now with Inter Milan on 55 points with 4 wins from the last 5 games, and 55 points AC Milan, the neighbors who had a one-word draw with AS Roma, now sits on 47 points, second in the league table. At the moment, right now, the lead between them and their neighbors is creeping up to 8 points at the moment. So hopefully their match today against Bologna, let's see how that game is going to pan out, if they're going to get anything from that game. Napoli, who won this week, sits on third with 46 points, while Juventus have creeped themselves into the Champions League position after their win this week against Parma by 4-1. They now sit in fourth place with 45 points. AS Roma sitting fifth with 43 points. From the relegation side, we see Fiorentina now sits 18th with 17 points, and Paisa 14 points, sitting in 19, and Verona are the last of the lot with 14 points, sitting in 20th position. For me, I think Verona and Paisa, they're done out of here. So that's all from the Italian Serie A. While we move to the Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid were fortunate to be given a 96 minutes penalty. We have they had a little bit shaky, not a little bit, a more shaky performance as they won that game against Real Vallecano by 2-0. Real Vallecano seeing 2 players being sent off in that game, the dying minute of the game. For me, that's a penalty. I don't know why they are complaining. That's not a penalty for me. The man, he clearly kicked onto Diaz, Brian Diaz. You didn't get any touch of the ball. You kicked through the man. For me, that's a penalty. I don't know why they are whining and shouting. That's a rubbish there. For me, that there's no rubbish there. So Real Madrid won that game. Elche, on the other hand, were defeated by Barcelona by 3-1. Yamil Amal, the star man of that game, Osasuna, played at the 2-2 draw with Villarreal. Oviedo! Santi Cazorla Oviedo won for the first time in how many matches? I do not know. They beat Girona by 1-0. Alaves went to Espanyol and defeated Espanyol by 2-1. Atletico Bilbao and Real Sociedad ended in a 1-1 draw. Real Sociedad finishing that game with 10 men. Getafe and Celta Vigo played at a goalless draw, while Real Betis defeated Valencia by 2-1. Valencia are really having a poor season, in my opinion, and we had a seat right now in the league table. The seats 15 in the league table. For me, Valencia are one of the big clubs in the Spanish football, and them being in that position for me is really not ideal. But this Barcelona, sorry, I said Borussia Dortmund. Barcelona now sits just 1 point above Real Madrid at 55-54, and Atletico Madrid seated with 45 points after they head to a goalless draw by Levante. Villarreal, on the other hand, sits in the fourth position with 42 points, with aspiration to qualify for the Champions League this season. Real Betis at a 5 point in the last space of the Champions League qualification spot after they defeated Valencia by 2-1. From the relegation aspect, we see Mallorca 18th with 21 points, Levante now with 18 points in 19, and Oviedo, for me, who I think will be going down after winning their game this week against Girona, sitting last in the league table with just 16 points. And for me, I think Oviedo has won already for me. Even if they are relegated this season, for me, I think they've won the heart of a lot of neutrals, a lot of mostly Arsenal fans who have their former players, Santi Cazorla, playing for Oviedo. And that's how it stands right now from the the Spanish La Liga. Moving on, we go to the French League One. The French League One, where we saw Paris Saint-Germain with 10 men defeated Strasbourg by 2-1. Mainz and Angers played at a 1-0 win for Angers. Nice and Brest played a 2-2 draw. Pardon my manners. These guys, it seems to be every time they play, they always tend to end in a draw. Nice and Brest played a 2-2 draw. Toulouse played a goalless draw with Ozel. Lyon defeated Lille by 1-0. Monaco, on the other hand, won this time by 4-0. Monaco are a very yo-yo team. You do not know what you get from Monaco. Today they are good, tomorrow they are shit. That's how Monaco tend to behave at the moment. Lorient defeated Nantes by 2-1. While Paris FC head Marseille to a 2-2 draw. A late penalty kick for Paris as they won that game by 2. They drew that game by a 2-2 scoreline. Desmond, while Lens defeated Le Havre by 1-0. That's the result from the French League One. At the moment, the league stands with 48 points. PSG with 48 points sitting first, while Lens with 46 points sits second. Marseille on the other hand, 39 points on third. Lyon occupying the last spot of the Champions League qualification spot with a win for Lyon at the moment. They sit 39 points. And from the relegation spot, we see Nantes with 14 points, 16th, while 17th position Ozel with 13 points, and Metz with 12 points, 18 points in the league table. That's how it is right now. In the French League One. So, people, before the video started, I asked the question: the Ballon d'Or or the Grammy Award, which for you gets you really more upset with the way they tend to pick their winner? For me, I think the Grammy Award just edges for me, because if you look at the people they've given the award in the Ballon d'Or, you see, okay, probably they do deserve it. Even somebody deserve it more, but at least they deserve it. But the Grammy Award, you cannot tell me how Tyler is winning the Grammy Award over the likes of Bonner, over the likes of Arista and Wizkid, over the likes of Davido. Come on. With You, for me, Davido Malay was one of the top songs in Africa last year. So I don't know how the criteria. Till now, we do not even know the criteria at which they tend to give the award. I'm talking about the Africa category. So for me, I think I'm just gonna make it my opinion. I think Nigerian musicians should just forget about the Grammy and focus on doing their craft. The Grammy does not mean you're good or does not mean you're shit. It means nothing. It means nothing. You guys are legends. You guys are doing magnificent job. The Afrobeat is all over the world. If these guys, the people organizing the Grammy, do not want to recognize the Grammy Award, so what it is. For me, I just think you guys should just forget about it. And congratulations to the Anikulapo family who saw Fela Anikulapo, the late legend, late great Fela, the king of Afrobeat, be given a lifetime award in the Grammy this year. So that's for me. That's my opinion. Let me know in the comment section your opinion. I really want to hear from you. And this week, like I said, on Tuesday, Arsenal take on Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, while on Wednesday, Newcastle will be traveling to Etihad for the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like this video if you like this video. Share to your friends and subscribe. Let's get to 2,000 as soon as possible. Till I see you again. Stay safe. Peace out.